Okay, now I am recording. All right, there were lots of homework. Okay, could you find any collocations on page 38?
Yes.
Which ones, for example?
I have them in a piece of paper, but I don't find it.
The paper. Okay, so anyway.
Oh, here.
You found it. Okay, so with advantage, what collocations did you have with advantage?
Take, have, get,
okay, take advantage.
gain.
Sorry, take advantage, have advantage, gain advantage. Any other?
Yes. Get
advantage. Okay. What about argument?
Argument, win, lose, start, and have.
It involved in, also could be another collocation. For example, you can say, yesterday I got involved in an argument and, I had a lot of problems with that.
Yeah.
Okay, with difficulties.
Face, overcome, have, and suffer.
Suffer difficulties. Yeah. Okay. What about dreams first? Dreams.
Dreams, follow, have, fulfill, and realize.
Realize.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. And perfection?
Seek, reach, and achieve.
Yeah, reach, seek, and achieve. Okay. Do you reach perfection sometimes or not?
Almost. No,
Almost.
in some cases, but perfection is too difficult to achieve, to reach.
Yeah. Okay. What about, hello, Francisca, popularity?
Popularity, gain.
Yeah.
Deserve.
Yes.
Win, lose, achieve.
Achieve popularity. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Francisca, did you do the homework?
Yeah.
Could you find collocations, for example, for potential?
I put realize.
What?
Realize.
Realize? No. Potential? Can you repeat again, please? Because I couldn't hear you well.
Realize. Or realize, maybe.
Realize potential. Yeah, you can realize your potential. Yes. What other?
Have.
Yeah.
Fulfill.
Which one?
Fulfill.
Fulfill. Fulfill potential.
Fulfill.
I wouldn't say so.
Yeah.
You don't fulfill potential. You have potential, but not fulfill. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Any
develop?
other? Develop potential? Yes, right. Any
That's
other?
it.
Yes.
No.
No. Ricardo, could you find any other?
Reach.
Reach? No, I wouldn't say so. You don't reach potential. You have potential, but you don't reach it. Okay. Hello, Melissa.
Hi.
Yeah. You can be aware. You can be aware of your potential. Okay. You can show your potential also. That's another collocation. Explore your potential. Okay. Okay, what about praise? What is praise, by the way? What is the meaning of praise? Do you have it clear? What is praise?
I don't have clear.
Do you?
It's like a congratulation when you say that, something like that.
But in this case, it's a noun, right? What would be praise as a noun, Ricardo?
Yes, I know, but I don't know how to explain the word. Praise is to maybe
Express admiration.
Admiration.
yeah,
That's a good synonym. Yeah, praise. Okay,
to
so
talk positively about someone.
yeah, could
Or
be.
something.
Yeah, but if you can define it that way, Ricardo, because you are defining it with a verb, and this is a noun.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so you have to, for example, admiration. Okay, that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so what verbs can collocate with praise?
Give,
Give praise.
Accept.
Yeah. Which one?
Accept.
Accept praise. Yes, could be. Yes.
deserve,
Deserve.
Serve.
Deserve. Yeah. Deserve. And you can earn praise also. Earn praise. Okay, what about target?
hit or miss,
Meet a target?
miss
Miss.
target.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, miss. When it is, yeah, you can miss a target. You can, what other? Hit?
Hit,
Yeah, okay. What else?
reach,
Which one?
Aim.
reach,
Yeah, aim at, reach a target could be too, yes. Go for a target. Shoot at a target. Destroy a target also. You know what a target is, right?
yes.
Okay. Target is kind of an objective where you can shoot at. In the United States, there is a big chain of markets which is called Target. Target is one of the most famous in the United States because it's cheaper than others. Okay. You want to go to a good supermarket or it's like a store, but it's like, I wouldn't say they sell everything. It's like, for example, in here, Leader, something like that, because you have clothes, but you also have, products like, for example, groceries, bread, everything. So Target is, but in terms of clothes, is one of the cheapest because they sell not high quality clothes. They sell good clothes, right? Okay, and finally, the last word here is thanks. Any collocation with thanks?
Give,
Give thanks, yes.
Express.
Express thanks, yes.
accept,
Deserve.
Serve, yes.
accept,
Say.
Accept, right? Say, yeah, those are okay. Yep. You have a good number of votes. Okay. Now we had the other part in which we're going to see some of it in Murphy. All right. So I'm going to share the screen and I want you to see. All right, here we go. Remember, are you observing now? Can you see?
yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was 55. Okay, in which you have to use an object, verb object plus two, right? So now let's move into the exercises. Yeah. Here you have, for example, complete the questions. Use do you want me to or would you like me to with these verbs and any other necessary words. The first one is already done. Do you want to go alone or do you want me to come with you? Do you want me to come with you? All right. Let's see, Ricardo, number 2.
Do you have enough money, or do you want me to lend you some?
Right, to lend you some. That's right. Francisca, number 3.
And shall I leave the window open, or would you like me to shut it?
Yeah, would you like me to shut it? All right. Melissa, number 4.
Do you know how to use the machine, or would you like me to show you?
Yeah, the printer. You have machine? It's the printer. Okay. To use the printer, or would you like me to show you? That's right. Ricardo, 5.
Did you hear what I said, or do you want me to repeat it?
All right. And finally, Francisca.
Can I go, or do you want me to wait for you?
Can I
To
go
wait for
now?
you.
Can I go now, or do you want me to wait for you? Right? Okay. Now the other ones have in here another type. It says here, complete sentences for these situations. Meet me at the station, right? Okay. So she told him to meet her at the station. Melissa, why don't you come and stay with us? That would be nice.
They invited him to stay with them.
Right, stay with them. That's right. Ricardo, don't forget to call Joe. No, I won't forget.
He reminded her to call Joe.
He reminded her, I would
To
say,
call
no.
Joe. No.
Él le recordó que no se olvidara de llamar a Joe. How do you say that? How can you say that? Ricardo, how can you say that?
He reminded her calling Joe.
No.
No.
To call Joe.
Ah,
To call Joe.
yeah, but I want you to tell me, él le recordó que no olvidara de llamar a Joe. No que llamara a Joe, que no olvidara de llamar. Porque don't forget to call Joe. How can you say that? He reminded her. How do you make the negative in these verbs?
Not to forget.
Aha, that's right,
Not
Ricardo.
to forget calling Joe.
No.
No, to call, sorry.
Yeah, okay,
Not
so
to
say it
forget
again, complete, right.
Yeah. He reminded her not to forget to call Joe.
That's right. He reminded her not to forget. Because in here you have to use the negative form.
Yeah.
The negative form. And the negative in these verbs is not to. It's not don't. It's not to. Yeah. Okay. Let's see, Francisca, be careful. Don't worry, I will.
And she warned him to be careful.
Careful, that's right. Careful. Repeat that, Francisca. Careful.
Careful.
That's right. Continue, Melissa. Can you give me a hand? Sure.
He asked her to give him a hand.
He asked her to give
him a hand.
To give him a hand. That's right. Hand. Our number 4, Melissa.
Hand.
Yeah, that's right.
Hand.
Okay, then complete the second sentence so that the meaning is similar to the first sentence. My father said I could use the car. We use his car. My father allowed me to use his car. Ricardo, I was surprised that it rained.
I didn't expect it to rain.
All right, I didn't expect it to rain. Okay, don't stop him doing what he wants, Francisca.
Let him do what he wants.
Okay, now read it correctly. Let him do what he
Let
wants.
Let him do what he wants.
Okay. Melissa, Tom looks older when he wears glasses.
Tom's glasses make him look older.
Make him look older. That's right. Ricardo, I think you should know the truth.
I want you to know the truth.
I want you to know the truth. All right. Okay. At first, I didn't want to apply for the job, but Sarah persuaded me.
Sarah persuaded me to apply for the job.
Persuaded me.
Persuaded. Oh my God, sorry.
Okay, no,
Persuade-
persuaded me. Persuaded.
Persuaded me to apply for the job.
Yeah. So Sarah persuaded me to apply for the job. That's right. Melissa, my lawyer said I shouldn't say anything to the police.
My lawyer advised me not to say anything to the police.
Right, not to say anything to the police. Ricardo, I was told that I shouldn't believe everything he says.
I was warned not to believe everything he says.
Yeah, not to believe everything he said. If you
He said, yeah.
right, it's better he said. You can say he says, okay, because it could be, but it is better to use past tense in that sentence. Francesca, if you got a car, you are able to get around more easily.
Having a car enables you to get around more easily.
That's right. Okay, which is right. You aren't allowed, in this case, to take pictures here. What about number 2, Melissa?
I'm in a difficult position. What do you advise me to do?
That's right. Ricardo?
Oh, sorry. The film was very sad. It made me cry.
That's right. Francisca?
Lisa's parents always encouraged her to study hard at school.
That's right. Melissa?
Please don't interrupt me. Let me finish.
All right, Ricardo?
You can't make people do things they don't want to do.
All right, Francisca?
You can't force people to do things they don't want to do.
That's right, Melissa?
Sarah won't let me drive her car. She doesn't trust me.
All right, Ricardo?
Why did you change your decision? What made you change your mind?
All right. And Francisca?
If you enter a country with a tourist visa, you are not allowed to work there.
To work there. That's right. Okay. And the other page was this one. Verb plus ing or to. In some cases, right, you can use certain verbs and there is a change in meaning. I remember doing and I remember to do. Okay. So we're going to see the exercises. Put the verb into the correct form, ing or to. The first one is already done. They denied stealing the money. What about number 2, Melissa?
I don't enjoy driving very much.
Right, Ricardo?
I can't afford to go away. I don't have enough money.
Francisca?
Have you ever considered?
Considered.
Okay. Have you ever considered going to live in another country?
Considered going?
Yeah.
Have you ever considered going to live in another country? Okay. Melissa? Number 5?
We were unlucky to lose the game. We played well and deserved to win.
That's right. Ricardo?
Why do you keep asking me questions? Leave me alone.
Okay, Francisca?
Please stop asking me questions.
All right, Melissa?
I refuse to answer any more questions.
That's right, Ricardo?
The driver of one of the cars admitted to cause the accident.
Admitted causing. Causing the accident. Okay, Francisca?
Mark needed our help and we promised to do what we could.
All right, Melissa?
Mark needed our help.
No, number 11.
Oh, sorry. I don't mind being alone, but I'd rather be with other people.
Okay, Ricardo?
The wall was quite high, but I managed to climb over it.
That's right. Francisca?
Sarah doesn't know about the meeting. I forgot to tell her.
That's right. Melissa?
I've enjoyed talking to you. I hope to see you again soon.
That's right. Good. Now, in here, Tom can remember some things about his childhood, but he can't remember others. Write sentences with he remembers or he doesn't remember. Okay. Number one, he was in hospital when he was a small child. He can still remember this. He remembers being in hospital when he was a small child. Ricardo?
He doesn't remember crying on his first day of school.
That's right. Francisca?
He can remember falling into the river.
He remembers the, yeah. So, sorry. And why did you use can in here? He doesn't remember. He remembers this. So repeat again.
He can remember falling.
No, you have to use he remembers or he doesn't remember.
Oh, okay. So he can. He remember falling into the river.
Yeah, he remembers falling, not falling, falling into the river, into the river. All right, not river, river. Okay, Melissa, the next one.
He can't remember saying
No,
he wanted.
you have to use he remembers or he doesn't remember.
He doesn't remember saying he wanted to be a doctor.
He doesn't remember he doesn't remember saying he wanted to be a doctor. Okay, he doesn't remember wanting to be a doctor too. All right, both are right. Okay, Ricardo.
He doesn't remember being beaten by a dog.
Right. And Francisca?
He remembers he was 4 when his sister was born.
Again.
He remembers he was 4 when his sister was born.
No. He remember being born. No, it's she in this. He remembers this. His sister was born when he was. He remembers being 4 when his sister was born. That is the correct thing. He remembers being 4 when his sister was born. Okay, and the last part of this, it says, complete the sentences with a suitable verb in the correct form, ing or to. Please remember to lock the door when you go out. B. Ricardo. No, Melissa.
I didn't do it. I didn't do this part.
You didn't do this part. Ricardo?
No.
He says we've met before, but I don't remember meeting him.
But I don't remember meeting him. That's right. Francisca?
Someone must have taken my bag. I clearly remember putting it by
it. No, it. Putting it.
Putting it.
No.
Putting it.
Putting it. Putting it.
Putting it by the window, and now it isn't there.
That's right. Ricardo? Letter D.
Oh, yes. When you see Steve, remember to say hello to him from me.
Okay, Francisca?
Letter A.
Well, A, it says, you lent me some money a few months ago.
Did I? Are you sure? I don't remember giving you any money.
You have to use the verb lent.
Lent?
Yeah. this case, or lend in this case, because it's remember lending you any money. I don't remember lending you any money. Yeah. The next one, Ricardo.
Did you remember calling your sister?
Yeah, no, I forgot. I'll phone her tomorrow. Let's see, Francisca.
The course I did wasn't very good, but I don't regret doing it.
I don't regret doing it. Yes, Ricardo.
I knew they were in trouble, but I regret to say I did nothing to help them.
Yeah, but I regret to say I did nothing to help. Let's see, Francisca.
It started to get cold, and he regretted not having his coat.
Not having his coat, not wearing his coat. That's right. And the next one, Ricardo.
I now regret quitting my job. It was a big mistake.
Yeah, it could be quitting my job, losing my job, leaving my job, any of those. All right. Francisca, 3A. Ben joined the company 9 years ago. He became assistant manager after 2 years, and a few years later, he went on
Becoming manager of the company.
Yeah, right. Letter B, Ricardo.
I can't go on working here anymore. I want a different job.
Okay, that's enough. Yes. Okay, so next you will have to read this verb plus ing or two. That is just homework. Okay, so in here you have to see that sometimes you use try to and try ing, depending on what you want to say, because they have different meanings, all right? For example, you try to do something, you attempt to do something, you make an effort to do something. While when you use try doing something, you do it as an experiment or test, yeah? Okay? For example, make an effort. In the first one, say, please try to be quiet. Make the effort to be quiet when you come home. Everybody's sleeping, right? So try to be, meaning make the effort to be. In the second part with ing, the photocopier doesn't seem to be working. Try pressing the green button. That means make the attempt by, make the experiment or test by pressing the green button, green button. So try ing, meaning experiment. Try plus two means make the effort. Yeah. Okay, so you have to read this and answer all the other parts, okay? And so unit 57 and unit in there, you have some other possibilities, help, can help, etc. So you have to read this, study this, and answer. And this is and then you have 58, verb plus ing or to. For example, like or would like. Sometimes they have the same meaning, like, love, or hate. Okay, they could go with to or with ing. All right. And you answer then you have prefer and would rather. This is not very important, so you can leave this, you can read it anyway, but you can leave it. All right. And finally, this is very important. Wait for me because someone is knocking at the door. Please, Señora Alba. Sorry, somebody was ringing the bell. Okay, preposition in, for, about. This is very important, etc. as ing. If a preposition in, for, about, etc. is followed by a verb ends in ing. That is a rule that you must not forget. Always. So, for example, when you say, are you interested in working for us? I'm not good at learning languages. Kate must be fed up with studying. What are the advantages of having a car? Thanks very much for inviting me to your party. How about meeting for lunch tomorrow? Why don't you go out instead of sitting at home all the time? Amy went to work in spite of feeling ill. Okay, in all those cases, you have a verb, an adjective with a preposition. And then you have a verb, the verb must go with ing. That is a rule that you can never forget. Because if you say, for example, are you interested in work? That is a mistake. And it's a big mistake. Okay? Because it is telling me that you haven't studied or you don't know what I've been teaching you. Okay, so read this. This is very important. You have to know it. All right? Before ing, after ing, before going, etc. Okay, so you have here all the things related to ing forms. Okay, and remember there are certain verbs like looking forward to always is followed by an infinitive, but look forward to is followed by an ing verb. Okay, because look forward to, in that case, to is not part of the verb, it's a preposition. So for that reason, you have to use ing. Okay? Okay. Shh, please, por favor. Yeah. Okay, so that is with this. So you have the homework for that next class. So before continuing, we have to see the other. I'm going to stop sharing. And you have the most difficult homework, which was this one, keyword transformation. Okay, could you do them? Was it difficult? Was it easy or not? Do you, what can you tell me? Okay, so we did only number one. I can't remember if we did number one. Yeah, we did number one. Weren't successful in achieving. That was number one. What about number two? I wish I had started my own business sooner. Regret. Ricardo.
I regret not having started my own business sooner.
That's right. I regret not having started. Okay, Francisca. Jack, number three. Jack is completely trustworthy as a business partner. Relied.
She's relied completely as a business partner.
No, it's passive voice in here. So you have to use, she can be relied on completely as a business partner. Can be, Jack can be relied. Se puede confiar en él.
Okay.
Because if you is rely, you can do that. You can say is reliable. In that case, could be. But in this case, it can be relied on completely. Right? Okay. The second part says, Melissa, did you do that part? This part?
Which one?
We are on page 39. 39.
Okay.
Okay. The second part, questions 1 to 6. Could you do that or not?
No.
No. Okay. So we're going to do with Ricardo and Francisca. If there are mistakes, we are going to fix them right now. Okay. Okay. So number one is some people doubt, Ricardo, some people doubt whether Martin's new business venture will do well. So expected. You have to use expected.
Yes. Martin's new business venture is not expected to do well by some people.
Right, it's correct. Yeah. So Martin's new business venture is not expected to do well by some people. All right. What about the second one, Francisca? Unfortunately, I couldn't visit my brother in Australia as I didn't have enough money. Able, you have to use able.
If I'd had more money, I would have been able to visit my brother in Australia.
That's right. Okay. If I'd had more money, I would have been able to visit my brother in Australia. This is a conditional sentence of the third type conditional. Past perfect, perfect conditional. That's right. Ricardo, it's possible that his ambition to be a doctor will fall or will fail if he doesn't work hard, realized.
I'm not sure about this one, but I did it this way. His ambition to be a doctor will not be realized if he doesn't work hard.
Yeah, could be. But you can also use in there, yeah, you use future, but you can
Yeah.
also use a modal verb in there. So you can say his ambition to be a doctor may not be realized or will not be realized. I think both are correct. Yeah. Number 4, Francisca, learning to drive is a waste of time unless you already have a car. Point.
There is not point to drive unless you already have a car.
Okay. First of all, there is no point, not. There is no
There is no
point,
point.
and
There is
then you
no
have to
point.
use no point in. That is the expression. There is no point in, and then preposition. Sorry, it's preposition. So then it's ing.
In driving.
In learning.
In learning.
Okay, so there is no point in learning to drive unless you already have a car. Yep. Okay, Ricardo, the sales director thinks it might be a good idea to take on new sales staff, considering.
The sales director is considering to take on new sales staff.
Considering taking
Taking
on new sales staff. Yeah, and the last one, Francisca, my parents wouldn't allow me to go to the party, prevent it.
My parents prevented me to go to the party.
It's almost correct, but you prevent, the collocation is prevent from.
Okay, from.
So, read it again.
My parents prevented me from going to the party.
That's right. My parents prevented me from going to the party. All right. This is hard, but okay, it's something that we can do. Now, it says here, go to next page, page 40 now. We're going to start working. It says, work in pairs and discuss the questions. We're talking here about technology. How important is it to you? Read this, please, Melissa. Read question number 1. How important?
How important is it to you to have the latest mobile phone, laptop, TV, etc.? Will designers ever stop updating these gadgets?
Right. Let's answer the first part. How important is it to you to have the latest mobile phone, a laptop, or TV?
For me, at least, it is not important. It is
Really?
not useful.
Why not?
Because I don't see the point to have a cell phone, a lot of cell phones.
I don't see the point in having.
In having.
Yeah, in having what?
A lot of cell phones. I have one until my cell phones die. I'm going to change it.
All right, so you are going to use it until it doesn't work again.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so you don't care about having a new one, the latest one?
No, at all.
Okay. Okay, what about you, for example, Francisca or Ricardo? Francisca, for example. Is it important for you to have all this technology, like, for example, a TV or a nice laptop or a mobile phone? How important is it to you?
For me, it is important to have mobile phone.
Why?
Because I live with them, with it.
Yeah. But do you use all the things that the cell phone has, or do you just use, for example, I would say this one is okay. It's not very modern, but it's not very old. But I don't use all the things that the cell phone can give me or can offer me. Do you use everything on your cell phone?
Not really, not really.
So why,
But
what is the point in changing your cell phone?
I don't know. It's just I like it, and it's
I,
like
you like them.
yeah.
Mhm. Okay. What about you, Ricardo?
No, I don't really need the latest phone or computer because I use my phone just to talk to my friends and watch some videos on YouTube and social media, and that's enough.
That's enough
I
for you. Okay,
need
now think about what thing would you like to have the latest? You like, would you like to, for example, in my case, I love cars, for example. If I were a millionaire, I would love to change my car all the time. Or I would love to have more than one car, big ones, small ones, but I love cars. Do you have anything that you like changing, or that do you like to have it all the time? Is there anything?
yes.
Ricardo, what?
I would like to have the latest gaming console, the
Yeah,
PlayStation 5.
yeah,
The reason is that the previous consoles can't I don't know, afford to to um, to run the new games. So
yeah, yeah.
the
They cannot support the new games,
yeah,
right? They
yeah,
cannot support the new games.
that's
So you
right.
would like to have the newest one, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, girls? Anything that you would like to be changing all the time? Anything that you would like to have the latest? Belisa, in your case,
I would like to have the latest edition of the Lord of the Rings,
Lord of the
the
Rings,
books.
the book
Yes,
or the movie?
the books.
The book. All right. Okay. So that is something that is you are passionate for these
Yes.
things. Okay. And you, Francisca, apart from cell phones, anything that you
Uh,
would like to change?
I would like to have a comic car.
A
You know
what?
what is comic car? Do you know what is?
And a combi.
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it.
a combi. Yeah. Ah, right. Yes, they're pretty.
Yeah, I
Okay.
love a German car. I would like to have a German car.
Right. A Volkswagen. The combis are
Volkswagen.
Volkswagen, right? I think
Right. Yeah.
they are Volkswagen. Okay. Mhm.
The
Okay.
classic car. I love it.
Okay. Now, what are the two best and worst inventions of the 21st century? I would ask you to tell me the the two best inventions. What do you think are the two best inventions in the history? Here it says of the 21st century so far. Anything that you consider a greatest invention?
A car. To me, it is really important.
Okay. What about technology? You have lots of things which are, new and important. Yeah, that you can use now, and that we are all, for example, the cell phone, internet. Internet is something that we all use. For example, this thing that we are having classes today from our houses is only possible with internet, or else we couldn't do it. Right? If there was no internet in these days, what would we have done to teach? Because we have to be home. We couldn't have taught during these days, right? Yes, Yeah, I think that another greatest invention was the Beatles. I can see Melissa, Melissa has a wonderful picture of the Beatles at your back. Okay. So the Beatles
Yes,
were
I love
fantastic.
Beatles.
Do you love the Beatles? Do you like the Beatles?
Yes, yes, I love
Yeah. Is that
it.
a book? A book of the
Yes,
Beatles? Yes. You know?
yes.
Yeah. We are fans of the Beatles. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding because some people don't like them. They consider them old, but I think that they are the origin of everything. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They are pretty good. Okay. Look at this number 3. Read that, please, Ricardo, about these sayings. Read the sayings. What do you think the sayings mean? Do you agree? Read them.
There's nothing new under the sun, and necessity is the mother of invention.
All right. Do we have any like translation for these two sayings?
No?
Yes, we do. Nada nuevo
Oh,
bajo el sol.
oh yes.
Nada nuevo bajo el sol. That's the first one. And necessity is the mother of invention. Do you agree with that?
Completely.
Completely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that la necesidad es la madre de todas las invenciones. Podría ser. I think we have something similar. Do you all agree with that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
For example, now we have to, what happens with this pandemic? New things were created, right? New vaccines and new systems. Okay, so yeah, we are creating things according to the necessity. Okay, but do you agree with the thing that there is nothing new under the sun? That everything has been invented? Because that's the idea when you say there's nothing new under the sun. So we are not going to discover anything new. Do you agree with that?
No, I think there is always room for improvements in every area,
Yeah,
from technology to science. I don't know, health.
yeah, yeah. Well, we say that it's like we know everything, but in fact, that is not possible. I mean, there are always new things, so everything is changing every day, every day. Okay, this the Museum of Failed Products, next page, is going to be your homework. We're going to read just the beginning so as to see what is it about, the story, and then you are going to read it and answer the questions for next week. Now we have more time, okay? You have some questions in here. Yeah, so you do all this page as homework, all right? Page 40. But you have to read the whole story, the whole article. We're going to read only the beginning, okay? So let's start. Francisca, start reading the Museum of Failed Products.
The museum's failed products. Our business editor paid a visit to the graveyard of good ideas. In an oh my gosh, I can't see. Unremarkable,
Unremarkable, unremarkable.
remarkable business park outside the city of Ann Arbor in Michigan stands a poignant memorial to. Sorry, I can't read.
Why? You can't see?
I can't see. Yeah.
All right, okay, Ricardo. So continue reading. Memorial to Humanities.
And shattered dreams. It doesn't look like that from the outside, though.
So,
Even when you get inside, it takes a few moments for your eyes to adjust to what you are seeing. It appears to be a vast and
haphazardly,
haphazardly
haphazardly,
organized supermarket. Along every aisle,
Aisle.
Gray
You know what
aisle.
an do you know what an aisle is?
Yes.
What is it? A corridor.
The corridors.
Yeah, the corridor in a supermarket, in this case, is in the museum. Okay, along every aisle.
Aisle, gray metal shelves are crammed with thousands of
Packages.
packages of food and household products. There's something unusually cacophonous about the displays, and soon enough you work out the reason. Unlike in a real supermarket, there's only one of each item.
Okay. Melissa, read the second paragraph and we stop. Okay? Read, Melissa.
The storehouse, operated by a company called GFK Custom Research North America, has acquired a nickname, the Museum of Failed Products.
Failed,
This is
not failed, failed.
failed products. This is consumer capitalism graveyard, or to put it less grandly, it's almost certainly the only place on the planet where you'll find a touch of yogurt shampoo alongside the equally unpopular for only hair only. The museum is home to discontinued brands of caffeinated beer and self-heating soap cans that had a
regrettable
tendency to explode in customer faces.
All right. Okay, so the idea, what do you understand about this museum in general? What is it about?
That it resembles a supermarket, but it doesn't offer any product.
Yeah.
It's like a showcase of failed inventions, maybe.
All right. Okay, so things that failed. So probably they were not sold anymore. Yeah. So that's the idea of this museum. Okay, so as homework, you're going to read this. We need more time to go forward. So you're going to read it and you will have to answer the questions that are in the previous page. Okay, try to take the vocabulary that you have in here because this vocabulary can be or can appear in the test. Okay, so it is necessary for you to practice it. Okay, yeah, we still have time. What time is it, by the way? Yeah, we have time. So we're going to go into the next page, which is 42. It says here, read the article about Roger Black and decide if the statements are true or false. Yeah, read the sentences. Let's see, Melissa, number one.
His biggest mistake had a positive outcome.
That's right. Francisca?
He should have done better in the math exams.
Okay, Ricardo?
Which questions?
Number 3, he regrets.
Number 3.
Where are you, Ricardo? Page 42.
Oh, sorry. He regrets not studying medicine.
Okay, and Melissa, the last one?
He wishes he'd known he was going to be an athlete.
An athlete, that's right. Okay, so we're going to read this. It says an unexpected turn of events. We're going to work here with modals, okay? What do you understand by modals? Because first of all, before getting into the article here, I want to know if you understand what a modal verb is and the way they function. Can you explain to me what a modal verb is? You know what a verb is, for example? Yeah. Say any verb. Any verb. Francisca, tell me a verb.
Make.
Make?
Yeah.
Yeah, any verb, make. Now, say a modal, Melissa, a modal verb.
May.
May, yeah. Now, make and may. What is the difference between those two verbs? Both are verbs, but they are different. Why they are different? What is the difference? Mention one difference. Can you say, for example, making? Let's think
No.
about another verb, an easier one. Go. Can you say go not? Gon't?
No.
No. Think about any other modal apart from may. The simplest ones. Can. Can you say can't?
Yes.
There you have a difference. Okay. Think about another modal. Should.
Could.
Should. And then we have go. Ricardo, give me or tell me the four forms of the verb go. The four forms. Present, past, participle, and gerund.
Go, went, gone, and going.
Now tell me the four forms of should.
Only should.
That's another difference then,
Yes.
right? That is why these are called modals, because they're verbs, but they do not act the same way the other verbs. Yeah. For example, regular verbs have the four forms. Any regular verb could be regular or irregular, but they have four forms. If it is regular, you say work, worked, worked, working. If it is irregular, go, went, gone, going. Do, did, done, doing. While modal verbs don't have four forms. Can has only past, could. The other one, may, has might. Must doesn't have any form. Should doesn't have any form. Okay? Normal verbs make the negative by using auxiliary verbs that help them to make the negative. For example, don't go, doesn't go, didn't go, won't go, wouldn't go, haven't gone, etc. They cannot make the negative by themselves. Yeah. While modal verbs can make the negative by themselves, and they can ask questions by themselves. For example, can you play tennis with me? It's a question, right? And the only thing I did was to change the order. But if I say, go you with me tomorrow, that would be awful, right? If I want to say, ¿vas conmigo mañana? Go you with me tomorrow. Sería como un inglés mexicanado, horrible, right? It cannot function. So what do the regular verbs do? They use auxiliary verbs. Can you go? Do you go with me? Did you go with me? Will you go with me? Have you gone with me? Or use modals. Would you go with me? So modal in general are also auxiliary verbs because they can make the negative and they can ask questions. So we have two differences, right? Modal verbs don't have all the forms. Modal verbs can make negative questions by themselves. And the last difference is that go means go, while can could have different meanings depending on what I want to say. Yeah. For example, if I say, I cannot go tomorrow, can in that case means a possibility in the negative. I can't, right? Or if I say, can you play the piano? I'm asking if the other person knows how to play the piano. So in that case, the meaning of can is not poder, is saber. Can you dance cueca? It's not puede bailar cueca, it's sabe bailar cueca. So the meaning of the verb depends, the modal verb depends on what you want to say. In general, they express certain ideas. For example, ability, criticism, deduction, obligation. Okay, so depending on what you want to say, if you want to talk about obligation, you use must, for example, or have to. If you want to ask for permission, you use can, or could, or may. If you want to talk about, advice, you say should, etc. Okay, so those are the ideas of modal verbs. Okay? Now, one thing that you cannot do, and please don't make that mistake, because I keep on listening to many students say, I must to go, I can't to go. Yeah, those modal verbs can, could, must, should, may, might, can never take to. You must do something, and always with the infinitive. Yeah, must go, must study. You can say must to study or must studying. The only way in which you can use another form is that you have another verb. For example, must be playing. And in that case, you can conjugate the verb because you have be between. Must be playing. Must have done, must have gone. Okay, so this is the parenthesis because we are going to work with modal verbs, and you have to know how to explain these modal verbs. They are different from regular verbs, from normal verbs, okay? They act in a different way, okay? So let's start reading, okay? Ricardo, an unexpected turn of events. Read that.
In many ways, my whole career has been shaped around the biggest mistake of my life. At school, I played a lot of rugby and
No, I
cricket.
play it, Ricardo. I played. Huh? You said I play it. I played.
I played a lot of rugby and cricket, but I never really did much athletics. My primary aim was to do well in my final exams, so I could read medicine at university.
Yeah, okay. Continue reading, please, Francisca.
I needed to do well in the math exam. I must do well.
No. You were right. I needed to. You were right.
I needed to do well in the math exam, but when I came to it, there was one question I got stuck on. I just can't work it out.
You are talking in the past. Remember that you use I needed to, right? So you're talking in the past.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, right. I just couldn't work it out, so I left it and went back to it later. The more I looked at
the more I looked
at it, the more confused I got. I started to panic, and when the time was up, I couldn't complete the whole paper.
The whole paper.
The whole paper.
All right, Melissa, continue reading.
I must still recall it.
Is it an obligation or a possibility? Yeah.
I can still recall it vividly.
Vividly.
Vividly. I was absolutely devastated. Um, I had to stay behind at school.
Yeah, I couldn't
Right.
understand what you read. Did you? Read it again. Number 6.
I had to stay behind at school for a year and retake that math exam because of the year off. I I couldn't go traveling or join in any of the things my friends were doing, and so I ended up joining my local athletics club in Hampshire.
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 Ricardo.
Oh, my microphone was on. Turned on. Um, my school said I could retake the exam, and eventually I started reading medicine at Southampton University. But by then, my life had changed. I was a European junior 400-meter champion, and I left the university after the first term because there was no way I could have done both. I should have realized that I would have to choose between the two. I never knew I was
Okay,
going
okay, up to there, okay. Francisca, read the last part. I never knew.
I never knew I was going to be an Olympic athletic when I
No,
was
an
at
Olympic athlete. An Olympic
Olympic athlete.
athlete.
Ath-
Athlete.
athlete when I was at school, even though people assume I oh, I must have done. It's easy to believe that we're
Programmed.
on a path in life, but it um, it mustn't.
No,
It
doesn't have
doesn't.
to
It doesn't have to
be.
be like that. It took that one mistake for me to find mine.
All right. Okay. So now, could you understand, right? The vocabulary was not very difficult. So I imagine that you could understand. So number 1 says his biggest mistake had a positive outcome. Is that true or false?
Mm,
Yes,
true,
Why?
true.
Why? Why is
He
it true?
said that in the first two lines.
Huh?
He said that in the first two lines of the text.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, right. In the end, it's because he made a mistake, but he changed his life. That way,
Yeah.
changed his life, and he started like doing something different. Okay, he should have done better in the math exam. He should have done better in the math exam. In the end, it was true.
It's true.
Right? It's true. Yeah, because he in the end he did it quite bad. Right? He regrets not studying medicine. He regrets not studying medicine. No, no, it's not he doesn't regret about that. In the end, he did what he liked, okay? And he wishes he'd known he was going to be an athlete. It's also false because he just discovered it, but it's not that he wishes he had known. Yeah, he didn't know at the moment. Okay, now, talking about regrets, is there anything that you regret not doing in your life up to now? For example, I regret not studying more mathematics when I was a student. I always hated mathematics and I never tried to learn mathematics. Now that I am old, I regret not learning mathematics in school because mathematics is sometimes is really necessary and we have complex things you cannot do. Is there anything that you regret not doing or regret doing? Maybe something that you did, you regret about it. Is there anything that you regret doing or not doing when you were a boy or when you were a young teenager? Anything?
Mm, maybe medicine. I don't like it. I don't like the blue.
What?
Medicine.
Medicine?
Yeah, I don't like the blood.
Yeah, but it's something that you regret. I
Yeah.
have to, something that you regret, not something that you hate, something that you regret doing or not doing. For example, I'm going to, an example for Melissa. I traveled to England once and I regret not going to Liverpool. Okay. I regret not going to Abbey Road to cross the street, for example. You know, I visited many places. I was with my wife. So I was in London, like, I would say like 1 or 2 days. So now when I think about it, I regret not going to Abbey Road so as to cross the street like the Beatles, you know, and take a picture in there. Or I regret not going to Liverpool to see or to know the Cavern Club, for example, or the places that in which the Beatles were famous. I regret not visiting Wembley, for example, or football cathedral, etc. So think about the things that you haven't done or you did and you regret about it. What do you regret? Ricardo, you are ready to say something.
Yes, I regret not playing sports when I was a teenager. And
Why didn't you play sports in those days?
I was so lazy.
Yeah, all right.
But now I'm overweight and my physical condition is terrible.
But you are still very young. You can play now. You can, I mean, practice sports.
Yes, I
Very,
know I can do, but um, I have less time than I had when I was in at school.
yeah, okay. Okay. Melissa and Francisca, Melissa, anything that you regret
No.
doing or not doing?
Yes. No.
Not yet?
Nothing.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think that every time I regret a lot about a lot of things. Although I can say that I've had a very nice life up to now. But there are always things that you didn't do, so you regret about it. I regret about it. Probably, for example, when I was a teenager, I was pretty good at playing football, but I never played like in a team. And I think that maybe I could have been pretty good at playing football. Probably I could have been a professional if I had practiced in those days, right? Now I'm old. I still play, but I'm too old now. But when I was a teenager, I was pretty good. I mean, but I never practiced. So I regret about that. Okay. Okay, to finish, we're going to go now into exercise grammar reference modal verbs in there. Okay, it says here, find one or more examples in the article of modal used to express ability, criticism, logical deduction, permission, possibility, obligation, necessity, lack of obligation, necessity, lack of necessity. See, all the things that a modal verb can express. For example, without looking at this, what modal verb can express permission, for example?
Can.
Can. In the present. In the past. In the past?
Could.
Could. Right. What modal verb can express ability?
Also can.
Also can in the present and could in the past. For example, my I don't know, my brother could play the piano when he was 5 years old. What modal verb can express obligation?
Must.
Must. Any other?
Might.
No.
Have to.
Should.
Have to. Have to. Remember that
Have.
have is a regular verb, but it can also be a modal verb. Have alone is a verb. Yeah, it means tener, but have to means tener que. So it means an obligation. It acts sometimes as a modal verb. All right, but it doesn't have the same, you know, it doesn't work the same way because it has an auxiliary verb, etc. Yeah, but it could be a modal verb. May and might. What may and might can indicate?
Possibility.
Possibility, but remote.
Mm.
It's a remote possibility. For example, if you see, I don't know, you see some clouds coming far away, you say, it may rain tomorrow. That's a remote possibility. And when it is very remote, it's the clouds are far, far away, you say, it might rain tomorrow. It might. There is a very small possibility. It's a very remote possibility. Okay? So if you say here, for example, let's start reading the first one. It says, so I could read medicine. Could read medicine. In which place would you use it? Ability, criticism, logical deduction, permission, possibility, obligation, etc. Which one? Could read
Possibility.
medicine. Ability, that's right. Needed to do well in the math exam.
Necessity.
Necessity, needed to do well. Okay, what about couldn't work it out?
Possibility.
It could be possibility, but
Ability.
it can also be ability. Couldn't work it out. It can also indicate ability. Then it says, I couldn't complete the whole paper. I couldn't complete whole paper. Also ability. If I couldn't complete it, it's because I don't have the ability, right? Couldn't complete. Can recall it vividly. Can recall it vividly.
Can. Ability.
I would say, yeah, can recall it as ability, right? What else then? We have had to. I have
Obligation.
to stay behind at school.
Obligation.
Yeah,
Obligation.
obligation. I had to stay behind at school. Couldn't have to go. Couldn't have traveling. No, couldn't
Permission,
No,
maybe?
couldn't go traveling. That's verb. Couldn't go traveling.
Possibility.
Couldn't go traveling. Couldn't go traveling. I would say,
Permission.
yeah, could be permission, could be possibility. Yeah. Then could retake.
Mm,
Permission. Permission. And then we have the next one, number 9, number 10, number 11 are modal, but in the past, because they go with have, right? For example, could have done. Could have done is also ability. Could have done. Should have realized. In what group would you place should have realized?
Logical deduction.
I would put criticism.
Oh.
Should have realized, and he didn't do it. Yeah.
Oh.
Should have realized. It's a critical thing. And then must have done.
Oh, that's logical deduction.
That's logical deduction. Okay. Deduction. So those are, expressions with modal verbs. Okay, we're going to stop now here, and then we are going to continue. You can do exercise 6. It says here, complete the questions with the correct form of the verb in brackets. Then ask and answer them with a partner. Okay, for example, is there anything you feel right now that you haven't? Right? Okay, so you have to complete it. In here, you have to use modal verbs in present, in which you have the modal and infinitive, and modal verb in past, in which you use should, must, could, plus have, plus participle. Should have done, must have gone, should have studied, etc. That is for the past. Okay, so that's it. We're going to go further in next class with modal verbs. Okay, that would make it, and that would be all for today. Have a nice weekend. Relax. Take care. You have to take care. Things are kind of problematic nowadays. Yeah. Be careful with your parties. Don't go to parties. Try not to go to parties. Okay. Okay. That would be
Okay.
it.
See you.
See
Have
you
a
then.
nice weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good weekend.
You too.